Good evening, dear student. According to latest informations about the syllabus of Science 9th class, some topics have been deleted. I have sent you the list of these deleted lessons and the topics. First lesson of the chemistry, matter in our surrounding, has been deleted, though I have discussed it in the previous videos, but this chapter, this lesson will not be included in your examination. It will not be assessed. The second topic that has been deleted is in the lesson gravitation. And the topics are thrust and pressure, Archimedes' principle, and relative density. These portions have been deleted from the lesson gravitation. Then we have a whole lesson, sound. It has been deleted for 2020-21 examination. One lesson from biology, diversity in living world, has been deleted. One more lesson from the same, improvement in food resources, it also has been deleted. And finally, one more lesson, that is our environment, has been deleted. So these lessons will not be covered in the annual examination of 9th class 2020 and 2021. Now, today we shall start the second lesson of the physics, that is force and motion. First lesson, that is motion, has been discussed already. Now we shall start force and motion. So let's see, what is force? What do you do to open a door? Either you pull it or push it. And you see that this pull or push produces motion in the door. So actually this pull or push is the force that is being applied. So what is force? Force is a push or a pull which can set a body at rest into motion, or which can change or tends to change state of uniform motion. What is force? Force is a push or pull which can change or tends to change the state of the rest or uniform motion along a straight line. Now consider that a football is lying on the ground, and when you kick it, it is set into motion. So force is applied here. So force can produce motion in a body at rest. Now consider that you are moving on a bicycle, say at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour. Now, if you apply pedal briskly, you will observe that the speed of the body, that is the speed of the cycle, is increased. So force is a pull or push which can change or tends to change the state of a body at rest, that it can set a body at rest into motion, or it can change the state of uniform motion. That is, it can change the speed of the body, it can increase or decrease the speed of the body, or even it can change the direction of the body. So let us conclude that force is a push or pull which can set a body at rest into motion, can change speed of the body, can increase or decrease, or can change direction of the body. तो क्या हुआ फोर्स? फोर्स एक पुश और पुल को कहते हैं जो अगर अप्लाई किया जाए तो और बॉडी अगर रेस्ट में हो तो इट कैन सेट द बॉडी इनटू मोशन, उसको मोशन में ला दे. इफ इट इज ऑलरेडी इन मोशन, इट कैन चेंज इट्स स्पीड, इट कैन इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज द स्पीड ऑफ द बॉडी, or it can change the direction of the body. So force is a push or pull which can change or tends to change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line. Force is a vector quantity. That is, it has both direction as well as magnitude. Its SI unit is Newton. We shall define SI unit of the force later on. Now we shall discuss balanced and unbalanced forces. We come across many instances where two or more forces act on a body. In that situation, the resultant force may be zero or non-zero. Consider this is an object. And we pull it on the right hand side. We apply force such that this block does not move. Let us consider the forces which are acting on this block. The first force is the weight of the block, which is acting vertically downwards. The second force is the reaction of the ground, which is acting in the vertically upward direction. Both, since this block is at rest, therefore these two forces are equal but opposite in directions. So we can say that these forces are balanced forces. That is one pair of force. That is the force of pull, which is acting on the right hand side. And there is a force which is acting in the opposite direction of this pull, that is the force of friction, which always acts in the opposite direction to which the force is applied. Since the block is not moving, it means the force of pull and the force of friction are equal, and obviously the direction of these two forces is opposite to each other. Now let us sum up. When two or more forces act on a body such that the resultant of these forces is zero, and therefore the state of rest or uniform motion along the straight line does not change, the forces are said to be balanced forces. कब कहेंगे बैलेंस फोर्सेस? अगर किसी एक ऑब्जेक्ट पर एक से अधिक फोर्सेस लग रहे हों और उनका रिजल्टेंट जीरो हो, और उस रिजल्टेंट फोर्स के कारण से अगर वो ऑब्जेक्ट रेस्ट में है तो वो रेस्ट में ही रहेगा, और अगर वो यूनिफॉर्म मोशन कर रहा है तो उसकी यूनिफॉर्म मोशन की स्टेट में कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा। ऐसी सिचुएशन में हम कहेंगे कि इस ऑब्जेक्ट पर जो फोर्सेस एक्ट कर रहे हैं वो बैलेंस्ड फोर्सेस हैं। Now, if we pull this block such that the block is moved toward the right hand side, in that situation, the force of pull will exceed the force of friction. And now the forces are not balanced forces, they are unbalanced forces. As you can see that the unbalanced force produce motion. So when two or more forces act on a body and the resultant force is not zero, उनका resultant force zero ना होगा, the forces are said to be unbalanced forces. And unbalanced forces क्या कर सकते हैं? They can change the state of rest. That is, they can set a body at rest in motion. They can change the state of uniform motion. That is, they can increase or decrease the speed of the body, or they can change the direction of the body. Can you give an example? What effect balanced forces can produce? When you compress a balloon in between your palm, you are applying equal force in the opposite direction. Then you would see that the shape of the balloon is changed. So balanced forces can change. They cannot change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line, but they can change shape of the body. So let us revise. What is force? Force is a push or pull which can change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line. Force is a vector quantity and its SI unit is Newton. We come across many instances where two or more forces act on a body. In such cases, the resultant force may be zero or non-zero. If two or more forces act on a body and their resultant force is zero, the forces are said to be balanced forces. And balanced forces cannot change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line. When two or more forces act on a body such that their resultant force is not zero, the forces are said to be unbalanced forces. And unbalanced forces likely to change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line. Now, what change can balanced force produce? Balanced force can produce, or balanced forces can change the shape of the body. They cannot change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line, but they can change the shape of the body. That's all today's.